Up, and away. Here we go again, guys. We're back at it again. Football camps open, baseball trade deadline, and much, much more.
Been lit, boy. Everything goes.
We now return you to regular programming.
Well, NFL camps kicked off their training camps, and the running backs in Football League are taking a stance. Melvin Gordon and Ezekiel Elliott decided that enough is enough. Running backs are not getting enough money. They're not getting paid the amount of money they deserve, and they're going to make a stand. Melvin Gordon, he basically is in his last year. Ezekiel Elliott, it's going to be interesting because he has 2 years plus possibly a franchise tag left on him.
That to me, that's frustrating. I mean, I can see if you're on your last year's contract and you want a contract extension, but in Zeke's case, like, you have 2 years left. Why are you sitting out already?
Well, he wants to get money, and let's face it. The running back in football, you don't see one running back in the NFL leading a team anymore. Now it's running back by committee. You see teams running 2 or 3 running backs for different plays, different positions, different whatever. And running backs, they just don't get paid like any other NFL player does for some reason. And I think the Dallas Cowboys are the only team that really rides their running back hard, and anywhere from 20-plus carries, and he's led the league in carries per year and led in rushing yards, and he wants money. He really doesn't have a leg to stand on because he still, no matter what happens, if he sits out this year and he comes back next year, he still has 2 years left on his deal. So he's really hurting himself more than anything.
I think the biggest thing you could take away from this, too, is I understand Zeke wants money, but I understand that Dallas also offered him a contract already. And I think one thing you have to think about for if you're in Zeke's spot is obviously you want money, but you also have to think about the team that's in front of you. You have a good young quarterback in Dak Prescott, and you have a good young receiving core with Amari Cooper leading that. Okay, Amari Cooper's going to need a contract soon. Dak's going to need a contract soon. You can't sign all 3 of those guys unless someone or all 3 of them kind of take a little max. Like instead of getting a super max, like if one person comes out, like Zeke comes out and he's like, I want the max. I mean, then if they give you the max, that means they can only sign one of the other 2, 3 stars. I mean,
well, the Dallas Cowboys have a plan, and they came out basically. Stephen Jones came out and said today, basically, we're not going to let the market dictate what our plans are. They're not going to let other people's contracts dictate what they do. They're not trying to play the market. They're trying to play what can we do to keep our team intact and stay competitive. Jerry Jones came out opening day of camp and said, you don't need a leading rusher to win a Super Bowl.
No.
And it's true. I mean, let's face it. The NFL has become a passing league. It's what the fans want to see. They want to see the guy throw the ball down the field 50 times a game, and that's what it's become. The running back, I don't want to say it's a dying position, but it's not utilized other than the Cowboys. The Cowboys play that old smash mouth, run the ball down your throat, wear the defense down kind of offense. But you don't see that a lot. You see more running backs leading their teams in receptions.
I think another thing that's very frustrating too is you have so many players that come out and they're like, I want to get paid more than this guy. I want to get paid like that guy. I want to get paid more than this guy. I want to be the highest paid receiver. I want to be the highest paid running back. And it's so frustrating because I bet you, like, if you sat down with these agents and you were like, so what kind of contracts did they actually offer Zeke? Like, you'd probably be shocked at the contracts he probably already has offered him by Dallas. It's probably a heavy paycheck. But they are so focused on getting paid so much money. Like Michael Thomas. I love Michael Thomas. But you're so focused on becoming the highest paid receiver. Like, when will it ever end? Like, you're going to have people that just keep wanting to become the next highest paid position player. It's just going to keep getting higher and higher. And it's just, it shocks me how much we pay athletes. Like, I understand that they put their bodies in these sports. Like, they can get injured. I can get injured at work.
Well, we said this before. The way the league is going and the way the contracts are going, it's going to come to a point where the salary cap is going to be to a point where you can't sign big name stars anymore.
No.
And you're going to have 1 or 2. It's going to be almost like the NBA. You're going to have like your top 3, and that's going to be it. Basically, you're going to be playing with a bunch of second-tier players. And I said before, if the contract, the way they're going for quarterback now, you're talking mid-30s. By the time they come around and they have to sign someone like what the guy from Kansas City, Mahomes,
he's going to break the contract
he's going to be a $40 million a year quarterback.
He's going to break the contracts. I mean, he's going to be the next best quarterback in the league.
Yeah. The thing, though, that these stars are doing, I mean, these GMs are doing, and they're getting smart with their contracts. Just like Michael Thomas signed that 5-year, $100 million, 61 guaranteed. But if you hear what's going on there, the Saints can actually get out of that contract after 3 years. It's incentive based, and these guys have loopholes. They're getting very smart. Even the DeMarcus Lawrence deal that the Cowboys did. After the 3rd year, the Cowboys can be done with that deal. It's front end loaded, so it's not going to really hit their salary cap.
No, it's just a frustrating conversation that I just don't feel like getting into.
You have to be really smart with numbers to be a GM in football. You really do, especially with this salary cap. I mean, the cap does go up, I think, $10 million every year. The problem with Zeke is, Zeke has too many off the field issues, and that hurts him. And I think of this whole thing. Of him sitting out, I think it's actually really, really, I don't want to say splitting up. I mean, the team is handling it very well. It's not like what happened in Pittsburgh with Le'Veon Bell. You don't hear people talking bad about him. You actually hear people supporting him. But I think Jerry Jones is a little heartbroken because of this, because of what he's done to protect Zeke and to go after the league to defend Zeke. I think with him turning his back on Jerry Jones, I think, it hit him more personally than anything.
Yeah, I'm tired of people coming out and saying.
I just, you know what?
No, I'm free. I'm just tired of people coming out. Like the first thing an athlete says, if they are coming to a contract or it's about to expire, the first thing they say is, "I'm going to sit out if I don't get an extension," and that's so frustrating. And you see a lot of athletes in the comments saying like these guys deserve to get paid, and I understand that these athletes do deserve to get paid, but to an extent, like these athletes don't deserve to get paid hundreds of millions of dollars. Like at the end of the day, you're playing a sport. I know your body's on the line. I know you're practicing a lot. I know you're away from your family a lot. You're traveling a lot. But like, could you imagine if we were at work and we said we're not going to go to work because we want a raise? Yeah, we'd be fired.
I think when it comes to the contracts, I think you have more leverage when it's your last year. It's a contract year. You have more leverage. But what Zeke's doing with 2 years left, you sign that rookie deal. You're not getting any endorsements off the field basically because of your off-the-field behavior. You're being sued by some young kid, security guard that you threw to the ground in Vegas. Now they have some kind of a deal where in 2017 he was in a car accident. The quarterback coach came out to the accident. Supposedly it was just a fender bender, but now this guy is suing the Dallas Cowboys and the Frisco police saying that they covered it up because Zeke was late for practice, ran a red light, got into a fender bender, but the guy said it was like $33,000 in damage. The car wasn't even worth $33,000. Apparently they didn't work out a deal. The running back coach, Gary Brown, showed up at the scene and said, "We'll take care of everything." I guess this guy's trying to say that the Cowboys covered it up because if Zeke would have had to go through concussion protocol the whole 9 yards, he wouldn't have been able to play against the Packers in the playoff game. So he's not happy, so now he's suing the Cowboys for $20 million. But this is just, again, another incident with Zeke off the field, another off-the-field issue.
And I've had this discussion with you already where if you had a pick out of the core three, you have Amari Cooper, Dak, and Zeke, it's easier to replace a running back than it is a wide receiver. I mean, you could just throw someone back there with a good offensive line. Like if I had a pick two, it'd be like almost like Drew Brees and Michael Thomas right now. Like I would pick Dak to stay with Amari Cooper because you have a good young wide receiver group right now, and I wouldn't want to split that up.
Now, Josina Anderson, she's actually reporting. I mean, apparently she's a good source. She's in contact with Zeke, and apparently they were close to an extension. I don't know how close they are now because you hear that Slater girl from the NFL.com. She's saying that they're not close to a deal. They're not even negotiating anymore. And apparently Zeke's down in Cabo. His agent has a house in Cabo. He's down there training. So, you don't know. You don't know what to believe of what's going to happen. But next week, the 6th, is the deadline. He has to show up at camp or he's going to lose $200,000 in game checks. And he loses a year of eligibility. So he's got to make a decision. And I think if I was his agent, I'd like, look, you need to get to camp. Because if you sit out this year, your contract's still going to be 2 years next year. You don't have a leg to stand on. Yeah. Where Melvin Gordon, he basically wants a trade now. But Phillip Rivers fired shots, and he said, you know what, we love Melvin, but our running back position is deep. So he basically said, we don't need him.
But what bothers me about the whole Melvin Gordon thing is that like
he's never healthy.
Melvin Gordon's a great running back. I mean, he's lifting hard in the gym. He looks great. Looks like he's good in shape. And he's good when he still stays healthy. But like you said, he hasn't played a full season yet. And to come out and you're declaring so much is just like, it's insane, because I'm losing my train of thought now because of your Yankees thing keeps going off.
I don't even know where my phone's
No,
at.
but the whole thing with Melvin Gordon is to come out to an extent further than Zeke's situation, say that you straight up want to trade when you already have a good team, you've been solid for them all year, but yet you haven't stayed healthy. And it's crazy how these players have so much leverage just to, basically push these owners. Like if I was an owner and I had a player who sat out and said, I want to trade or else I want a big contract, I'd be like, you're gone.
You know what? Personally, if he's under contract for this year, I'll let him sit out. I would start finding him. I mean, whatever, sit out, and then I'll trade him at the end of the year. But he wants more than $10 million a year for the Chargers to extend him, and I don't think they're willing to budge and give him that much.
I don't know. It's a frustrating topic. I'm just happy that the Saints got Michael Thomas done. He's now the highest paid wide receiver ever and the first non-quarterback offensive player to receive a $100 million pack. He's only 26, established himself as one of the NFL's most potent offensive weapons.
What? Go ahead.
No, are you going to chime in?
Well, I was just reading something about that Melvin Gordon thing. The GM, Tom Telesco, said we're not going to budge. Basically, Gordon has no leverage. He can hold out, but eventually he'll have to report or accrue a year of service. Otherwise, the $5.6 million he's set to earn in 2019 will not toll until the next year.
Owners should have the power, too, just to say, I'm not going to pay you.
Yeah, and he's subject to $40,000 in fine each day he misses. And that's the same for Zeke. I think it was $30,000 to $40,000, which could end up him missing over $300,000 for camp in each preseason game skipped.
People would die for that money, man.
Yeah, I know. I would.
Yeah.
But it's a business. At the end of the day, we have to remember, and we've been through this, we're talking about it before, it is a business. These guys, you think about it, your contract and your limitations that you have, you're only like an NFL player for like 4 or 5 years anymore as a running back, and then they replace you. You don't see the guys going. Like Emmitt Smith's, his record is probably safe because of the way the running back situations are today. It's a throwing league. And not to mention, you don't see the workhorses anymore. Frank Gore, guys like that were workhorses, they're basically done. And that's why they're like hesitating on signing Zeke long term, because the amount of wear and tear that he has on his body already and the amount of use that they gave him already.
I feel like the league's becoming almost like a baby league too anymore. You never heard guys complain about getting injured and making money. Like, it was just, they went out there and they worked. They went out there and they threw their body in the line. I mean, nowadays you want people. They're just. I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
Well, the thing that
it's a sensitive topic.
Well, it's just frustrating the way the league's going too. Now that you're allowed to review pass interference plays and everything, so it's gonna make the game longer.
I want to get back to Michael Thomas, the best receiver in the league.
That's just by your take on it, and we had this whole discussion through text the other day.
Dude, his first if you
want to get into it on the air, we can.
No, dude, come at me. Like, his first 3 seasons, 321 catches, 3,787 pass yards, 23 touchdowns. His first 3 years, every year it was more passing yards. He had 1,000 yards each year.
Yeah, that's understandable. But the text that you sent me was no one's ever put up the best.
I said no one's put up the stats he's put up in the first 3 years. His catch percentage and catches. No one has that.
No, you didn't say that. You just said no one's put up better stats than him in his first years.
Because I didn't feel like right now those 3 things.
I came at you with names. But then you said catch percentage.
And catch.
That's really not a stat. All that tells me is
That's not a stat?
All that tells me is your quarterback has basically 1 or 2 targets. That's it. Catch, that is nothing. You know what the top stats are? Completions, completion yards, touchdowns, yards after the catch. Those are the best stats that you want. Pass completion or whatever you came at me with, percentage, that's nothing. That doesn't tell me anything. No. Freaking Jason Witten could have 100% pass catches thing, whatever you freaking said. That doesn't matter. Yards after the catch, those are important.
So, are you done?
No, I'm done. Come on, come at me.
So that you just said that Drew Brees only throws Michael Thomas. That's why he has a high percentage. Drew Brees recorded touchdown passes to 9 undrafted free agents last year. It's the most since 1967. So that basically shows that Drew Brees throws everyone on the team.
Completions.
No, it's my turn. It's my turn. It's my turn.
What are you
It's
telling
my
me?
turn.
It's my
turn.
Your
It's my turn.
Your
It's my turn
second
here.
highest receiver on your team was Alvin Kamara.
It's a fine ever.
Okay, so just because
I thought it was my turn to talk.
Just because of completions, I mean, he can go out there and throw 3 completions to one guy all year, 4 completions to this guy all year. It doesn't matter. His main targets are Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara. That's it.
What does that have to do with anything?
That's it. But you're saying what completion percentage?
And catches. So if you let me talk, completion percentage means how many catches he's catching. He's not dropping passes. He's making tough plays, and he's not dropping them.
He is dropping passes. The best hands in the NFL
is Hopkins.
Are Hopkins.
Absolutely. He didn't drop one pass last year. But Michael Thomas, through his first 3 seasons in the NFL, his catch percentage was better than anyone in the league. That's what I was trying to tell you.
No.
That's showing you that he's catching almost 90% of his catches, not dropping them.
And that's fine. That's fine. But what are they? I mean, what are his total yards? Where does he rank in the NFL?
I just told you
his
his total
rank?
yards.
Where does he rank as the top receiver in the NFL every year? I don't care about what you're telling me. You said he's the best receiver in the NFL. That's what you said.
I did not. I'll pull out the text. I said
you
he
said
no
one's
done,
ever
in
put
the
up
first 3 seasons.
No one's ever put better stats than him, and I named right away OBJ.
He passed OBJ.
I don't think so. And that doesn't matter because the Falcons came out today and said they're going to make Julio Jones' as paid receiver, which means
That's fine. I'm just happy that I already locked in Michael Thomas.
That market is going to flip. That's going to be another position.
You cannot sit here and tell me that Michael Thomas is not a top 5 receiver.
I never said he wasn't a top 5.
You can't tell me that he's not a good receiver and doesn't deserve to get paid.
If I had to pick my top 5 receivers right now in the NFL,
Michael Thomas should be in that. Absolutely.
He's 4th or 5th.
Who's top 3?
Hopkins is number 1.
And I totally agree with that. I think, in my opinion, Michael Thomas is number 2.
Julio Jones is good.
I think Julio Jones is good, but I think Michael Thomas is a great. I mean, he's younger too, and I think he's gonna surpass Julio Jones.
He's got to be like 3.
I wouldn't say OBJ's 3. I mean, he's been injured. Look at
the stats OBJ's put up with a horrible quarterback.
Okay.
I just think OBJ. I guarantee you with Baker Mayfield this year, OBJ is going to probably be one of the guys, maybe close to leading the league in receiving yards and touchdowns.
And you keep telling me that Michael Thomas is only good because of Drew Brees.
I didn't say that. I said that's Drew Brees' only target.
You told me one day that Michael Thomas would not be good with Drew Brees, and you cannot say it because Hopkins.
I can say that.
Hopkins only had Watson for Deshaun Watson for 2 years. Before that, he was getting catches from Whedon.
I would take Keenan Allen over freaking Michael Thomas.
Oh my, it's whatever. I don't want to talk about it anymore. You're losing your mind.
The only one I would take Michael Thomas over Amari Cooper.
Absolutely, I would too.
But I think Amari Cooper gets open better than Michael Thomas. Has better moves. That's
your opinion, man. That's your opinion. All I know is that he was ranked higher than Amari Cooper in the top 100 by the players that voted.
What does that matter?
It matters. Aaron Donald got number 1. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, that's stupid. All that is a favoritism vote. That's it.
That's not a favoritism vote. That's the fans. It's basically like
it's not the fans. It's just the players.
No, that's what I meant to say. That's like imagine on our baseball team that we voted for the All-Stars. Like that's basically what they're doing. They're voting the best players, and Drew Brees got number 2.
Beckham still has you guys Michael Thomas beat with $65 million guaranteed though, which is I don't know that guaranteed money thing.
I don't know, but Drew Brees got number 2 in this list, and there was a lot of people shooting it down. But Brees had a historical year,
Where was Tom Brady?
Tom Brady, I believe, was 6, and I had a very embarrassing moment because I was on the YouTube page watching the Drew Brees video, and I was scrolling through all of the videos, and I was like, how is there no Tom Brady on this list? And I scrolled 2 times. So I went on our Twitter page, and I tweeted out, how can you have a top 100 players list without Tom Brady? And I did the smacking face emoji. And as soon as I tweeted that, I went on the videos, and I see that he got number 6. It popped up out of nowhere. I was like, oh, man, now I got to go on Twitter and delete this.
Well, I know that the Dallas Cowboys have 8 players listed on the top 100, and Dak Prescott's not one of them.
One thing that was pretty shocking to me is on that top 100, Todd Gurley was number 5. And yeah. I don't know how Todd Gurley started off the year pretty well, but he slowly kind of disappeared.
I just understand how I'm not a Dak Prescott fan by any means, and I like the Cowboys to the world and back. But if you look at winning percentage, there's only one person ahead of Dak Prescott as far as total wins since he's been in the league, and that's Tom Brady. For him not to be in the top 100, even if they gave him 100.
I thought he was in the top 100.
Nope, didn't make the top 100.
Oh, wow.
Dak Prescott did not.
One of the craziest ones for me was how J.J. Watt was 80 last year because he was injured, and he came back this year after there were a lot of doubts, and he made wealth. Led the league in fumbles, forced fumbles. Had an amazing number of tackles.
Where was Patrick Mahomes?
Patrick Mahomes was number 4. Could you imagine being a rookie? And I mean, he's not a rookie. It was a second year, but your first time start in your year, and you get 4th.
They're already projecting him, which I don't know how. Maybe now it's not going to happen because Tyreek Hill got hurt.
Wait, Tyreek Hill got hurt?
Yeah, he got hurt. He got carted off the other day in practice,
Really?
something on his knee. But they have him projected to beat all his freaking records from last year. I mean, he threw 50 touchdowns last year. He threw for over 5,000 yards.
It's crazy. So I was as I was watching his video on the top 100, I was thinking, I think that he's still going to be good. I think that you're going to have a lot of people try and watch film on him, but he's the type of player that like you can watch as much film as you want, but he's going to make those plays like Russell Wilson makes. Like it's just going to happen. You can't stop it. I don't think he's going to get 50 touchdowns and 5,000 passing yards again in this season. I think he's going to put up amazing numbers. I think he's going to be like almost like a Drew Brees and throw for 5,000 passing yards like almost every year. But
who did that poll that you just read to me?
the top 100?
Yeah.
The players.
What was it from? CBS?
No, it's NFL.
Because CBS has their poll, and they have Aaron Donald as number 1, Patrick Mahomes 2, Khalil Mack 3, Brady 4, Von Miller 5, Aaron Rodgers 6,
Von Miller 5.
Hopkins 7, Russell Wilson 8, Bobby Wagner 9, Drew Brees 10.
Dang.
I don't understand that.
God, what did I want to say? I told you, this is for all the people listening. We were talking about I saw a post on the Madden ratings, and somehow they have the Eagles rated higher than the Saints. And I'm not dissing the Eagles here, but pretty sure the Saints had a better record by a long shot, and they whooped the Eagles in the regular season, and then they beat the Eagles in the playoffs.
Yeah, but when did that ratings come out? Does it come out after they do their stats? I mean, they don't do their stats after they come out with their new roster moves and stuff like that. Because I'm telling you right now, the Eagles are loaded. As long as Wentz stays healthy, the Eagles are gonna be tough. The Eagles are gonna be real tough. I mean, I'm looking forward to that the Cowboys and the Eagles games.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Can't talk. It's gonna be a good rivalry.
I mean, the way they're projecting, they have Atlanta rebounding and winning that division.
I can tell you that division's gonna be good because what's his face? Cam Newton's throwing again, and if he can come back healthy, that division's gonna be tight. I mean, I don't really have a lot of faith in Tampa Bay.
You know who I feel bad for? I feel bad for the Giants. The Giants lost 3 receivers already in camp.
Dude,
And they lost Shepard to a broken finger, who he might not be back until like week 2 or 3.
Coleman with the ACL.
Coleman's done; he's out for the year. And then you have Golden Tate, who I
Suspended for
feel
4
bad
games.
for because he used a fertility drug. He's trying to have kids, and his doctor came out and basically explained to the NFL what happened. And I don't know if he's going to win the appeal or if he is appealing it. But
They need someone. They talked. I saw stuff about Victor Cruz coming back.
He's not doing steroids. He's trying to have kids, and he has problems. And he did a fertility drug to have children.
That's messed up, man. That's really messed up.
It is messed up. It is messed up that the NFL is actually going to suspend this guy for 4 games because of what came up, and it comes up as a fertility drug. It's crazy.
I saw reports that they're like, hey, like Victor Cruz, like, well, we'll take it back. That'd be crazy. That'd be real crazy. No, they need help there. They need help. I mean, you can't even throw that young quarterback in there if there's no receivers.
Then I heard a story about what's Fitzmagic down there in Miami, that he is dominating camp, and Rosen looks like absolute trash. He's having such a hard camp, and he's basically not going to start again down there.
I don't know what's going on with him. Fitzpatrick's an interesting story because Texans, he wasn't that bad. And then there was just some teams he went to, and like the Jets. Gosh, that was bad with the Jets. And he had Brandon Marshall with him, and that was just a bad situation there.
I think Alan Hearns is going to have a lot of fun there.
Wait, where'd he go?
He went to Miami. I think he's gonna come back, and he's gonna have a great year.
Well, Alan Hearns wasn't bad with the Jaguars. I'm shocked that Dallas has a deep wide receiver core. That's probably I could see why. And then you're probably trying to make money for the Zeke thing too. So
yeah, but it's surprising that Dallas even cut him. I was surprised, but especially what happened with him, and they brought him back, and they picked up his contract and everything. And they said bye bye, saved them $5 million in cap space. But Miami picked him up right away, and I think it's him and Kenny Stills down there.
And then they have Drake too, who's good.
Mm-hmm.
Fitzpatrick's interesting though because like last year when he came in, man, he dominated, and like they were undefeated. I think they were 4-0, and then it's just like I don't know what happens with him, but it's like it just stops. it just ends, and it kind of. And it's not even like, I mean, it was like they lost once and they kind of gave up on him and they put Winston back in there and then they threw him back in and then just, I don't know. I mean, I wish the guy the best luck, but that's a tricky situation. Dude, the Jets could be good. I was just talking about the Jets. The Jets could be good. You think about it, dude. Le'Veon Bell, Sam Bradford. Not Sam Bradford, Sam Darnold.
They always have a good defense.
Yes, they do. Adams is an amazing player. Amazing player. Absolutely.
I don't think Le'Veon Bell is going to do anything there. I don't know how good their offensive line is. I mean, they never have anything offensively going. They're going to probably use him as more of a threat passing out of the backfield. But and that's another thing I heard too. Players like Alvin Kamara and Le'Veon Bell and all these guys, when they come up for like new contracts, they're saying that they could actually not go as a running back, but go more as a slot receiver because they catch so many passes out of the backfield.
It's not going to work.
That they could change their position and say, I want to be paid as a receiver.
You know why it's not going to work?
You never know anymore.
No, you know why it's not going to work? It's because the same thing happened with Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, I know.
Jimmy Graham
wanted to be paid as a receiver.
Yeah, and he caught so many passes with Drew Brees, and the court said no. Or I honestly, it was so long ago, I don't even remember what the final decision of that was. But you know what I'm really hoping for? And this is really bad of me. I don't know why, but I'm really hoping with the Ravens that, like, Lamar Jackson struggles to the point where, like, he can get traded and go dominate with a different team, and, like, Trace McSorley just comes out of nowhere and, like, starts for Baltimore and does really good. I don't know why, but I always liked Trace McSorley for Penn State. And I was a big Will Grier fan, too, for Carolina, and where he's playing for Carolina now. So that sucked for him because Cam Newton's there. And, I mean, maybe he'll start because I don't know if Cam's going to be ready by the first week.
I think he might be. The way they're talking, he's gonna be ready. Dude,
you gotta think, like, the Saints have one of the best divisions, dude. Because, like, the Falcons, their defense is gonna be stacked this year. They have everyone come back that's healthy.
The NFL is gonna be so interesting because of all the different changes from teams. I mean, it's gonna be really interesting this year. I'm excited for it.
I really hope the Bears do good too, because a lot of people are shooting them down because they lose their defensive coordinator after being one of the best defenses in the league.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying to you about the 36 turnovers. I don't think that's going to happen again. But, they didn't change personnel, so they still could be. I mean, a lot of these guys, they're not going to change too much when they come in there. I mean, last year worked, so I'm sure that coach come in there is not going to be like, okay, we're changing everything.
Change it all around.
But that division's another one because they have Minnesota winning that division, which would be interesting.
And I truly see Minnesota having a huge jump this year because, like, last year was a little bit of a disappointment with Kurt. What the heck's his name? Quarterback for Minnesota. I'm drawing a blank. Yeah, Cousins. That was a disappointment.
Yeah, but they have no line. Oh, hopefully the line's better this year.
Yeah, but they have a great receiving core. And
they have a great running back.
Yeah. I mean,
Dalvin Cook's awesome.
I think this is going to be his breakout year because last year he was coming back from an injury. He did pretty well. For Rudy out there, they'll probably lose the Saints again if they play them. But
I think just like I projected Boston not to make the playoffs this year for baseball, I think Chicago Bears are going to be that team that doesn't make it. I think they shot their low last year and they're done.
I don't think so. I think Trubisky's a good young quarterback. I truly do. Everyone was disappointed when he got picked by the Browns in the draft. Not the Browns. What the heck? I'm saying so many bad things today. The Bears.
But I think Minnesota, and then with Aaron Rodgers coming back healthy,
that's going to be a tough division.
He's a weapon.
It's a tough division.
Absolutely.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers was healthy last year, though.
No, he got hurt. He got hurt with his leg or knee or whatever it was. But
I don't know. Packers, you never know with the Packers. The Packers either going to suck, and they got a new coaching staff too. Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, but let's face it, the real coach of that team is Aaron Rodgers. Just because they call a play in doesn't mean he's calling that play.
And when it's almost, I like to like, this is my thing. Okay, I always hate when people say Aaron Rodgers is better than Drew Brees. I personally do like Aaron Rodgers, and one thing I can say about him is, it's almost like when the Saints had the worst defense ever. As long as Drew Brees has the ball, they have a chance to win. You could clearly say that with Aaron Rodgers too. As long as he's in the game, they have a chance to win.
Did we pick our playoff projections and Super Bowl championship and on our football podcast yet?
No, we won't do that yet. I'm not doing that till after preseason.
Okay.
Because I want to know who's injured, who's not injured. But I think we should move on to some baseball. Had the big trade deadline happen, and of course the Yankees did nothing.
Yeah, and I got to recant.
Nothing.
I got to recant something because before we were talking about the home runs and we were doing all those analytics on the home runs and stuff, and I said the laces were raised on the baseball. They're actually lower on the baseball. That's why these pitchers are having trouble.
I was going to say,
and that's why Tanaka's having trouble. He's actually changing his grip because he can't throw his sinker no more because the way the ball is slippery and sliding out of his hand.
I was gonna say, like, the laces raised are actually a good thing, because I used to pitch, and I used to love, especially when I threw a 2-seamer, I used to love when the laces were higher, because you really got a good grip on that. When they were low, like some of those times when we went to those Iron Pigs tryouts, some of those balls, the laces were like gone, and like it's scary, because like when you're in a situation when you have a lot of people watching you like that, and you're trying to feel the ball in your glove, and you can't like really feel that lace, I don't like it, man. So I can relate.
Well, right now in baseball, we have 57 players with 20 home runs or more. We're on pace for 137 players, and the record for that is 117. So another record that might get shattered this year. But a lot of pitchers are definitely coming out and saying there is definitely something different with the balls. They can't throw their off-speed stuff as good, and they can't get the spin on the ball like they usually do because they can't grip the ball. So Major League Baseball is definitely going to be looking into this.
I think the most frustrating thing to me that happened was that the Mets got Stroman, which blew everyone out of the water because nobody expected that. And then they wanted to flip him to the Yankees. But everybody that, like, the Yankees wanted to trade with, like, they were asking for so much.
Yeah.
Like, everybody wanted our number one pitcher, Garcia, and Flores, and Frazier. Like,
Estevan Flores, yes.
Like, they wanted, like, a three-man package. And, I have on this podcast, I have said that I would pull the trigger on a good player because we have a lot of young players. I will not pull the trigger on three of our best prospects.
And I said it to you too.
I would do two.
I think Brian Cashman did a great job.
Yeah.
He even came out and said, he's like, look, there was plenty of opportunity, but the asking price for these pitchers was crazy. And you know what? The general managers are complaining, and this rule is going to change. They did away with the August waiver wire where you can make deals later on in August. They moved the trade deadline up to July only, and that's it. But there's so many teams that are in this playoff race that you saw names that were on the list that got pulled off, like Bumgarner and Wheeler. I'm surprised Bauer got traded because Cleveland, I think they're tied for first place now, or they're only a game out.
2 out or something.
But you know, they wanted so much. I mean, Matthew Boyd for Detroit. They wanted Gleyber Torres and 3 freaking minor leaguers.
Are you crazy?
That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Gleyber Torres is only 22 years old, and we have control of him till 2025. No way would I want to give him up. And to give up a guy like Devi Garcia, we need our young pitchers because
we always trade them away.
Look at the problems we're having with pitching right now. With Paxton struggling, Happ struggling, Tanaka struggling, CC Sabathia's hurt again. You know, our lineup is in shambles. Ever since the Boston series, actually Minnesota series, our ERA for our team is up over 12 since then.
Yeah. I mean, was I frustrated that we didn't get a pitcher? Absolutely. But I'm also, like you said, I'm kind of happy with Brian Cashman. He didn't trade our prospects away. We still have a solid team. I was talking with someone at work today, and obviously our pitching's struggling today, but it can easily change like a blink of an eye. Like, you know, like right before you get the postseason, that teams get hot. For all you know, C. Sabathia can turn into that Cleveland Indians pitcher, man, and Paxton can just turn into an ace, and Happ can turn into the normal stuff. But it's tough, man, not having. And I don't want to rush Severino back. I have that talk all the time. I don't want to rush him back because, you know, he signed to a 7-year deal.
Well, I got to tell you, the team that I'm afraid of now going into the playoffs is Houston.
Yep.
Verlander, Cole, and now Greinke. They all have ERAs under 3.
I mean, we just lit Greinke up.
Yeah, we did. Well, Greinke's
Tyler Wade actually hit a 2-run home run.
No, it was Tauchman. Tauchman hit.
Was it?
Yeah, Tauchman hit the home run off him. But see, the Greinke's.
Are we positive on that?
Yes, Tauchman hit the home run. Greinke is 0-3 in Yankee Stadium. He has an ERA over almost 12. He's 11.29 in the Bronx. So it was a good thing that we didn't pick him up for there. The nice thing about Greinke is he's got 8 pitches. There's not too many pitchers that throw 8 pitches in MLB anymore.
I know.
I mean, he throws an ephus. His fastball, you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of that pitcher for the Atlanta Braves, Greg Maddux. He didn't have great velocity at the end of his career. He had so much junk, and he was a great pitcher. Greinke has 8 pitches. His fastball is under 90, and he has an ERA sub 3. You know, so he's an amazing pitcher, and that the fact that he went, and I'm surprised that Houston picked him up because he's owed $70 million for the next 2 years. But that is nuts, man. Wade Miley, Garrett Cole, Justin Verlander, and Greinke.
I actually have a picture here. I took a screenshot of it. So They're starting 3 right now, okay? You have Garrett Cole, 2.94 ERA, 212 strikeouts. Zach Greinke, 2.87 ERA, 128 strikeouts. Justin Verlander, 2.73 ERA, 196 strikeouts. That's a deadly 3 right there.
That's just boosted them to be probably.
And let's be real, if the Yankees play them in the
team.
playoffs, you can't rely on our team getting 10 runs. You need to put what we're going to have to come up with, if our pitching still sucks by then, you're going to have to rely on the bullpen. You're going to have to pitch pitchers 2 innings, 3 innings, and bring the bullpen like a Mariano Rivera type of thing in the playoffs.
You know, another thing, too, with the Yankees, I think that Cashman is hoping that we get Severino and Dellin Betances back. They're both throwing off the mound now. Well, I should say they were both throwing from 90 feet. I think Severino's going to the mound next week. He's going to start throwing from the mound.
Could you imagine we got Severino before like the playoffs and he came out hot?
The problem is we're not going to get him to the end of August, probably September, because he has to go through a whole spring
I would not
training
rush
yet.
him. I would not rush him.
We need pitching.
Because if he can come back for playoffs and he's dominant, that's huge for us.
I got to tell you, though, the trade that surprised me was actually the Bauer trade going to Cincinnati for Yasiel Puig.
Me too, because they have a
me.
good pitching, and now it's like they just lost one of their best pitchers.
And you know what's funny? 11 minutes before Puig got traded, he got ejected in that brawl.
That was crazy
in Cincinnati.
brawl.
That brawl was insane. So now he's going to Cleveland, but he's probably going to be suspended for a few games.
The Reds gave up. Oh yeah, the suspensions came out. I didn't get to read it yet. But the Reds traded a few actually good players. They also traded Scooter Gennett, which I'm shocked. I'm glad they kept Derek Dietrich. But what's crazy with the Reds is the Reds have a really good pitching rotation now. And they also have Hunter Green in the minors, who throws 100 miles an hour, who could be the next, Aroldis Chapman. I was drawing a blank.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting to look at. I mean, they might end up trading him in the offseason. I don't know what they're going to do with him. But this Saturday, Stroman pitches for the Mets and Bauer pitches for the Reds. So.
You know who has a scary rotation going into next year? The Mets. If they keep everybody,
the Mets lineup's
Wheeler,
dominant.
DeGrom, Stroman, and Syndergaard.
Mats is your fifth or fourth pitcher, and he's good.
That if they don't flip anybody, that is going to be a stellar.
And they just
bullpen.
signed DeGrom to a big contract.
Yeah,
I think Syndergaard's contract's up soon.
I don't know, but I'm telling you right now that is a nice pitching rotation.
If I had to pick a team that won that trade deadline, though, like Astros obviously bulked up, but the Braves bullpen is outstanding right now. Outstanding. They got Shane Green. What's that guy's name from Detroit that we used to have as a Yankee?
Is it Shane Green?
And then they got, I don't know how to pronounce his name. It starts with an M, that McLaughlin or whatever guy from the Giants. Their team was, they have a 6.5 lead in first place. Their offense is dominant, and now their bullpen is dominant. I picked the Braves to win that division, I believe. If we could replay that podcast, which I won't do because that's a lot of editing to do. But I picked the Braves to win that.
I picked the Nationals.
You know what is crazy is that nationally, what is crazy is you're going to have a lot of teams. You're going to have, I'm going to say sorry, you're probably going to have 10 teams fighting for the wild card spot.
Oh, you are. The wild card race right now is it's so close in both divisions.
Now
that's why you didn't see a lot of deals going on.
I'm going to count these teams right now, okay? You have the Nationals, the Phillies, and the Mets. That's 3 teams right there that are going to fight for the wild card. Because they have a good...
I'm looking at it right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams within 4 games.
That's insane. I was talking with someone at work about this, how this is going to be the most crazy... excuse me. You're going to have probably 2 separate games that they're going to play for like that last spot in the wild card.
You have the Cubs and the Cardinals. You have the Nationals, the Phillies,
the Brewers,
the Brewers, the Giants, the Diamondbacks, the Mets. The Reds are 6 out, but that's still not a lot. If you want to be serious, you have all the way down to the Colorado Rockies. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11
How many
teams.
are they out?
11 teams.
How many are they out? The Rockies.
7.5.
That's crazy.
11 teams out of 13 battling for 2 playoff spots.
And I bet you look at the AL, it's different.
Yeah, the AL, you have the Cleveland Indians who are the first spot. Oakland A's, they're tied, and Tampa Bay Rays are tied for the 2nd spot. Then you go down to Boston, it's 2.5. That's 4 teams. Then you drop down to the 5th team. They're 6 games out, and the Rangers are 7 out. And then after that, it drops to 14 games.
I believe last year they played almost like a sudden death game just to get into the wild card because 2 teams tied. I could see that. That is you're gonna have. I talk about this at work all the time because it's crazy. I've never seen I've never seen it where there's been so many close teams like that. I mean, you still look at the NL Central. The Pirates, even though like they're 47-61, they're only 10 out
In the National League,
their division.
In the National League, you have 11 teams over 500. In the
That's
American
crazy.
League, you have 8.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. And I mean, if you're telling me the Rockies are only, what'd you say, 6 out, 8 out,
7.5.
that means the Padres are even closer.
The Padres are 6.5 out.
It's so crazy. It's crazy.
That's exactly why the GMs are complaining that they want to have another trade deadline, because either they want to have it later on in the season at the end of August.
And I think it should be later because
It's
like
too soon.
now, if you look at the NL West, okay, you have the Giants and Diamondbacks. They're both 15, 16 out. But they're fighting for that wild card. So if they just made trades to fight for that wild card, say you advance 2 weeks ahead, now they're like 10 out from the wild card. And they're like, now we wish we could trade everybody.
Yeah.
You know what would be cool? Imagine there was 2 trade deadlines. Imagine like there was
used-
a trade
there used
deadline
to be.
now, and now you can't talk negotiation or anything like that for like a whole month, and then you could trade again one last time.
There was a trade deadline, then there was the waiver wire in August, but they got rid of that.
I don't know why.
But baseball it's gonna be a sprint now. You got 2 full months left, and it's gonna be a sprint. And the Yankees, they have a crucial series coming up. They have to split this series with the Red Sox. We have to get our pitching going. I don't know who we're gonna pitch now since Tanaka pitched yesterday. Sabathia's on the shelf. I'm sure Herman's gonna start game 1, and then probably Paxton game 2, but. We really, really, really have to get our pitching situation fixed.
You know who's starting to heat up? The Phillies.
Yeah, they're winning right now, 10-2.
Jake Arrieta, man, I give him credit, dude. He's pitching through pain in his arm, dude. And they also, you know what? I feel like the Phillies really got a good player that they needed. They needed another outfielder, and they traded for Corey Dickerson. Corey Dickerson is a good player. Great defender. Great speed. He can hit the ball. He can give you home runs. Realmuto's heating up. Dude, I don't think that they're going to make a push big enough to get back into first place. I think the Braves have that locked. But, dude, I am stoked for this wild card run. I'm stoked. Because I don't know who's going to win.
Yeah, it's wide open.
The only team that's, out is, the Marlins. Just sit down.
Tampa Bay is up 5-3 in the 6th inning on Boston, which is good. Boston's playing a late game tonight, so, that gives the Yankees. The Yankees are off today, so it gives them a chance to rest and get things in order. Do you know what scares me about the Yankees, though? Ever since the Boston series, we're not hitting the ball as well. Judge is in a funk. I think he has 2 hits in his last almost 30 at-bats.
Yeah, I heard the commentator say the words, he's in a slump. I was like, why'd you say it?
Luke Voigt, he's got a core muscle tear or something. He's on the DL. Stanton's nowhere near coming back. Gary Sanchez was running bases yesterday, which is a good sign. We need him to get hot again.
What is even going on with Stan? I don't even get updates on him.
Something with his knee. He's been such a bust. A bust for us.
I told you Tyler Wade went deep, man. I looked that up because I felt stupid. It was Tyler Wade that went deep because I was watching that game. I was like, let's go, Tyler Wade.
Tyler Wade didn't even play in that game.
Bro, Tyler Wade goes deep. Rest of offense sputters against the Diamondbacks. It was the game they went 2-0. They lost.
But Tauchman's the one who hit the home run to go 2-0 tie.
Yeah, the other day.
No, it was in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, I'm saying the other game, though, Tyler Wade hit a home run.
You didn't say Tyler Wade.
Dude,
We're going to have to go back and check this out.
Yeah, Tyler Wade hit a 2-run home run, and then they lost.
Let me look at this.
Dude, just type in Tyler Wade's name in Google, and the first thing you see is Tyler Wade goes deep, but the Yankees offense splutters 1 day ago.
Let's see. 1 day ago, yesterday, Tyler Wade didn't play against Greinke. Hicks, Judge, Encarnacion,
Dude, I'm talking about the game before.
Okay, well, you said he hit the home run off of Greinke, and I said Tauchman hit the home run off of Greinke. So you're talking 2 games ago.
Yeah, right there it is. Tyler Wade, boom.
Okay,
Gone.
but you said against Greinke, and I said no.
I thought it
Tauchman
was
hit that
against
ball.
Greinke.
No,
I thought it was against. I know that Tyler Wade hit a home run. I felt like I was confident on that.
Tauchman hit the first home run, and then Austin Romine came in and hit a home run off of him.
Either way, the Yankees won, so nothing matters.
Yeah. Anyway, we had to win that game. We needed to.
Yeah.
But
let's talk about some NBA, man. Some big news happened lately.
Yeah, the Sixers are putting together a good roster. I'm pleased.
was really
Trey Burke
happy.
pickup was pretty good.
I was really happy with that pickup. We got to watch him at Michigan. He was great. That was the first time ever I saw someone take a D3 like all the time, and I held my breath every single time yelling at the screen, and he made it though.
I mean, he's not dominant in the NBA,
No, he's
but
not
he's going to
dominant.
give you points, which is good.
So what's crazy is he's been on a lot of teams and he's been shaky, but there's been a lot of moments where he shined. Like for the Knicks he played well, really well. Oh, excuse me, but
You know what I
coming
like?
off the bench is really good for us.
You know what I like? Ben Simmons has been working on that jumper.
I watched it. I watched the highlights, and it's like, so like he'll be dribbling and he does the post fade, like he just backs up and shoots it, and dude, he looks good. It's like, where's that been the whole time? Like, I don't know if he's scared to shoot, but like, it looks good. Like he's making shots like he's an NBA player. If he
Wow. Last year, some guy put $67,000 on the Warriors to make the playoffs at minus 10,000 odds. This year, he made another bet. This year, he puts $100,500 on the Sixers with minus 5,000 odds. So if the Sixers make the playoffs, he's gonna make whatever amount of money that is.
See, I don't understand all that. Like, I don't
Yeah.
understand the whole like money part of that, but that's a lot of money, I bet. No, but Zion Williams, man, he's with Jordan now. He probably had a lot of shoe people talking with him, but he's officially in the Jordan family. There's not many people in the Jordan family, but I wish I was in the Jordan family, man. And getting all those Jordan shoes and you get your own customized shoes. He was actually just hanging out with Drew Brees. They were doing the QB challenge.
I saw that.
And he was like, Drew Brees was like, he told us we're getting the first Zion Jordan, so I'm gonna tell him my shoe size right now.
Well, he actually turned down bigger sneaker deals with other shoes to stay loyal to Nike and join Team Jordan, which is pretty cool. You know, everyone thought after that incident in North Carolina where he busted out of his
Paul
shoe
George.
that he was gonna turn his back on Nike, but I'm sure they offered him a nice incentive package.
Dude, so like I work in a footwear store. You know how many people I've had come up to me and be like, so like, is Nike bad because of that? Dude, you have never seen that before. Like, first of all, he's a freak athlete. He's a huge man. For something to happen like that, dude, that will never happen again.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a freak thing that like happened. The way he probably landed on the shoe, it couldn't hold him.
Well, you know what? These shoes, they're not made like they used to be.
The basketball shoes are made pretty well. I mean, the
they're
regular
they're all
shoes,
glued together.
yeah.
They don't even stitch the freaking Nike symbol anymore. It's pressed on. It's sad. Like when I was a kid and I had Nikes, we had the real Nikes, man. They really freaking put those shoes together good.
To be part of the Jordan family, though, that'd be an amazing thing. What was that thing you were telling me about? How the GMs are mad that players knew about free agents?
Yeah, the NBA is investigating tampering during the free agency period. They're saying that players knew where they were going and the amount of money they were getting before free agency opened.
What's wrong with that?
I don't know. Well, it's tampering. I don't know how they're going to investigate that and how they're going to control that. These players, you know, they're not dumb. I mean, I'm sure that they're
social
they're
media's
talking
big, too.
amongst
They're
each
probably
other.
texting.
I mean, their agents are, you know, they're all over the place.
I mean, it shouldn't be illegal to text someone and be like, hey, man, like, I want you to come play on my team.
You know, the thing I like about the NBA is, as a player, you basically know what you're going to get, what kind of market you're in. It goes off of the years that you've played. You know, it doesn't go off of what Joe Schmo next door got. It goes how many years, and that determines how many millions you make. Like they're saying, Kawhi Leonard, if he would have stayed with Toronto 2 more years, he'll be in the league 10 years. He would have been able to sign a max contract of $300 million somewhere.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because the NFL, man, the way they're going, that's why I don't want to buy jerseys, because you don't know where your best player is going to go.
Yeah, and I have a few of those jerseys where those players aren't even on the team anymore.
But I'm excited because they announced that they're making a Tony Romo movie, Now or Never. It's called. It's going to be in 2 film festivals. One is in El Paso and it's sold out, and the other one's in Rhode Island. Maybe you have to go to Rhode Island and see it.
I watched that. What's that documentary that NFL does all the time? What's that called? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
But did you watch that Tony Romo documentary that they did on him? It was really good.
You're going to have to call Jarvis. Jarvis helped Ty out. You got the NFL connection.
I'm just saying it was a good movie. It was like a good documentary thing they did on Tony Romo.
I like all those behind the scenes, like the one with the Cleveland Browns that's on, was it Netflix?
Hard Knocks.
Or oh, my God. Not Hard Knocks.
But now they have Bill and the Browns.
Oh, yeah. I love watching them to see
I love
what
that.
goes
I wish
on
the
behind.
Saints would do something like that, dude.
I think they're all going to start doing it now because, like, they did it with the Dallas Cowboys a couple years ago, and they're doing it again this year. And the last year they did, they're doing Hard Knocks with
The Raiders.
with the Raiders, which is going to be cool. And They did it with Carolina, and the Carolina one was pretty cool because they had like an episode where they had Cam Newton and that linebacker. What's his name? Kuechly, and they were playing Washington, so they called up that cornerback Norman, and they were all talking about is whatchamacallit playing today? And
Wait, where'd you see that at?
it was on one of the episodes of Hard Knocks, and
Was that from a while ago?
yeah, and like Norman asked Cam if who's the big tight end.
Greg Olsen.
If Olsen was playing, and he goes, and Kuechly goes, no, and Cam like looks at him like, yo, why are you telling him? And he goes to Norman, now you got to tell us something about you guys. And then he goes to Cam, he's like, you better not run my way. He's like, I'm telling you right now, if I run your way, I'm not going out of bounds.
I personally like Cam Newton. Like on the field, obviously I gotta hate him because I'm a Saints fan, but like I love the way he plays the game. I really do. I admire the way he plays the game because I don't like when guys run first. I like that Cam Newton can run, and he knows he can run, but he can also throw a ball 80 yards down the field, and he'll beat you.
Yeah.
And he's not afraid to truck you. He's not going to run out of bounds. He talks the smack, and he backs it up.
I love the fact that they mic these guys up. They should have it optional, like where if you want to listen to a regular NFL game, or you can buy a package where you hear it mic'd up and what they're saying on the field to each other, because it's got to be interesting. Just like with baseball, what they did during the All-Star game.
Yeah,
where
that's
they had
cool.
those guys
That's
talking
cool.
to each other and communicating. They should do that during the season. If these guys want to talk it up, let them talk it up. That'd be so cool to listen to.
That's like when the umpire was mic'd up when the Mets manager was freaking out when Syndergaard got ejected. That was the first time I ever heard an umpire mic'd up when a guy got ejected, and it was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Browns had an altercation with a defense and offensive player where they were fighting. And what Freddie Kitchens did is he made the whole team run because it's a team sport. And there was a lot of people I was watching on TV that were saying that that's a bad move by him to have the whole team run for two people's. And that frustrated me so bad because if you're on live TV and you're going to sit there and say a coach is wrong for making his team run, first of all, they're making millions of dollars. He's the coach and he's playing for them. If he wants to make them run, he's going to make them run. Mm-hmm. He's the coach, okay? Like, what? Like, you're talking down on him because there was a fight with grown adults, and he's going to make them run now because they're a team and they're going to play as a team. I thought that was awesome.
You know what? I heard something too. I read an article about the NFL's coming out, and the Players Association is telling their players start saving money. The CBA ends after the season. I guess the work stoppage is possible if they don't come up with a new deal.
Wait, for what's coming to an end?
CBA, their deal.
What's CBA?
It's their deal. It's a collective bargaining agreement with the NFL, and if they have to renegotiate a contract, and if they don't, it could be a work stoppage, meaning that they won't have NFL until they come up with a new contract.
Wow. So
the
like
players
there won't be NFL for a while.
So the NFL is basically telling the players, look, especially the rookies, man, it's hard for the rookies because if they don't get a lot of money.
Save your money because we have a drought.
Because if we have a stoppage of because of the CBA, it could go into
what is CBA? Is that like who owns the NFL or sponsors them?
The CBA is the collective bargaining agreement. It's an agreement between the Players Association and the owners. This is how they negotiate their deals.
Could you imagine there was like
they've had work stoppages before? They've had lockouts. They've had scabs go across.
That
the
was
picket
like
line.
I wasn't even born though. Wait, like what? You didn't have an NFL season for like how long?
Well, they had scabs come across where they brought like
scabs.
People that crossed the picket lines and went and played football, and they had a couple games, but then they came up with an agreement and they brought the real players back.
Dang. So like, could you imagine seeing that? Like, we don't have NFL for a year. Could you imagine that?
It happened in baseball too. You have these agreements, and you can have lockouts. It happened in hockey. I think the 1 year in hockey they threatened not to have the playoffs in the Stanley Cup.
Wow.
Yeah. It's what these owners make a lot of money. They really do, and this is how these guys get their deals done with this collective bargaining agreements. No, the other day was National Wing Day, and that guy Joey Chestnut, the famous hot dog eating guy from Coney Island.
I watched that video of him eating the hot dogs. So I could throw up watching that.
Dude, that guy in Coney Island this year ate 74 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
Dude, I watch those videos and like I want to throw up.
Yeah. Well, anyway, they had a wing eating contest, a 12-hour wing eating contest. Guess how many wings this guy ate?
Dude, why would you want to do that? Why, first of all, why would you want to do this? He wins money for this.
I don't know. How many wings do you think this guy ate in 12 hours?
12 hours? How big are these wings?
I don't know.
I didn't know these details.
I think it was from Hooters, and there's no Hooters around here, so I don't know how big the wings are. So if somebody messages us on YouTube or the podcast, let us know how big the wings are in the Hooters down south.
That's not really good. I could have said something funny, but I'm gonna guess. I mean, you think in an hour he probably ate over 100.
What?
I mean, dude, you think how small a wing is?
No, some wings are big.
Well, I don't know how big they are. You don't have the details.
Well, anyway.
So okay, now the way you said that, I'm thinking it's not that big of a number. So I'm gonna say
who eats for 12 hours consecutively though?
They do. They train for this stuff, dude.
Yeah, but 12 hours is a long time.
I'm gonna say 500 wings.
No, he ate 413 wings in 12 hours.
Dude,
he
okay.
averaged like 40 wings an hour.
You said that so disappointed. No,
Yeah.
I was so close. That was a great guess.
You know, the record is held by a woman. There's a woman out there. I don't know her name. I didn't get the details of it. I caught at the end of it on 105.3 The Fan, Tolo.
Mm-hmm.
She ate 501 wings.
dude.
A 120-pound woman ate 501 wings.
You said a 500-pound woman?
Yeah. No. A 120-pound woman ate 501 wings.
It sounded like you said
she holds
you
the
agreed to it.
She holds the record for a woman.
You agreed to it.
It's crazy. That is a lot of wings.
Dude, I mean, I couldn't eat 20, man. If I was forced, like, imagine being forced to eat that. I literally think right there and then a human being would explode.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. We do have a couple things that we are working on.
We're working tight with some people right now, like some big people here.
It's actually. You want to give it away what it is?
No.
Okay. Anyway, it has to deal with the famous week in July.
Okay, you just gave it away.
No, I didn't. Anyway, we are working with some people. We got some interviews that are scheduled, or we're actually planning on. We have to go through some PR people first, but it's going to be really interesting because this is going to go through a whole nother spectrum of something that deals with something like a sport, I'd say.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, I'm excited for these guys.
So am I.
The one guy said that he will come on, and then we're in touch with the other person's people. She's just out of the country, so like it's hard to get a hold of her right now.
But this is insane because what these people do is absolutely crazy.
I would be too scared to do it.
It's to the point where
Wait, I told Rudy already who they are, so
I
if
don't-
he's listening, he already knows who we're talking about.
I'm so excited for this because I don't even have to look up any information or write down any questions.
It's just
I have
so many questions
in my head.
Oh
that
man, I have
this
one
kid-
question that's the biggest question I have, and I'll talk to you.
Anyway,
I'll talk to you after we go.
You got to
Thanks.
stay tuned. We're gonna hit these people up. Actually, the one is busy working this week. He's gonna give me a couple days, email me, and we'll get this set up. So I'm excited.
Listen, it's hard. It's not easy to do these podcasts because of work and everything. But just
We
bear
got-
with us.
we got
I mean,
softball playoffs
if we
coming up.
if we get one a week, like these guys should be blessed to hear our voices once a week. Okay. But this will be up on all our platforms. You got Spotify, iTunes, Google Music, YouTube. Everyone kind of passed on YouTube now because it's so much easier to watch it on your app.
You know, we got fantasy football drafts coming up. We're gonna hit people up. What are the top picks in the fantasy football drafts? We got so much to talk about coming up in the next couple of weeks.
But we're happy that you guys made this far and listened to our voices. Could get annoying, but we're happy you listened this far. And we'll see you guys next time. Enjoy.
Peace.